Alright, hey y'all, it's Pizza Hulk. I'm back here in the long dark today. And I just want to talk about a couple things that's going on with Hinterland. We got a new update. I talked about it not too long ago in a video. Um, I try to let people know when the dev stuff comes out. And I always like to broadcast, uh, when something new starts or comes out, right? And I just wanted to do a video. Today we had the update come out for the Long Dark that's going to give us a new zone. The
Looks like we made
zone.
it through another night.
There you go, Astrid. The zone of contamination. And, you know, I'm going to do a video on that. In fact, I'm prepping for that video right now here in Forsaken Airfield. And what I wanted to do is get a little prepped up, get a little ready to do another video, right? And the new video is going to be based on the new zone of contamination, which is not too far from here, and the transfer pass is how I'm going to get to it. You can't, apparently, I mean, I can get there in, let's say, another game, but I won't get all the necessarily, like, the things going on. So I started a new one. I was like, let me start a new one. I'll put it in custom pilgrim so I can have an easy time and just get a ton of loot. And have the most chances of, finding whatever they have there in the new area, right? So I turned it on the pilgrim settings, like all the loot stuff and everything is on pilgrim, right? And basically everything else is custom. But for the most part, we're living in a pilgrim world, right? Huh, where did I put those rabbits? That's the real question. Did I... I lost some rabbits. I really am unsure where I kept them or if they've disappeared. If they disappeared, that's really problematic, so I might go whack this rabbit real quick. But, yeah, so, excuse me. I have a series going on now. It's the Frontier 500, right? And it's... Oh my god, it bounced off the back of the rabbit. There's a lot of glitching going on, by the way. Thanks for the update, but things are a little weird. There we go. Just need to secure a little food here. No,
Man, this
don't look.
pack is getting
Right.
kind of heavy.
Yeah, I know. Alright, so... that is my main series on the Long Dark right now, the Frontier 500, right? I'm going to do 500 days with the Frontier, DLC and stuff. Now, I'm not sure how much access I'm going to have to the new stuff in that playthrough. I don't know if the thermoses and all the things are going to be there. Maybe they will be, maybe they won't be. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. I did know that I wanted to start a new playthrough to this to make sure that I could have, everything I need. Oh, here they are. Okay. Oh, no, there's just one. Alright, so I want to show you something real quick that I think is interesting. So this is the rabbit I just smacked with the rock, right? And this is a rabbit I found inside that was, left. And they have made a difference. And I will say that the game is looking absolutely stunningly gorgeous. This is probably visually easily one of my favorite games. I think it's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. And somehow they made it even better. It just looks so great. And I've always said, it's like being able to be inside a painting, and they've highlighted that even further. They've made it stand out even more, and I absolutely love it. It looks so good. Also, they've added a lot of audio in this last update, which I am somewhat appreciative of. Uh, I'm a very audio kind of person, and some of the sounds I'm not too happy with, especially when you're in a cave during a windstorm. It's a little ridiculous, but that's not the point. No. All right. So feel like, and I know it's true. I mean, it's history with Hinterland. It's history with the people that make this game, right?
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Uh, Man, I lost like 7 rabbits. I have no idea where I left them. I really don't. I thought I left them up there by that plane. Anyway, uh, so this game was originally developed as story, right? And for story mode. When they were making it, they needed some cash, right? So they released the survival part of this game. When they did that, they got people playing. There's my bunnies. There they are. Look at this. Look at this. There's rabbits for days. All right. So they did that to push the game, what they want, the story mode, right? I have my own opinions on the story mode. Maybe you played the game, maybe you have your opinions on it, okay? They might differ, they might be the same. Either way, it kind of doesn't matter because the part that I'm talking about right now is just facts, right? So they released the game in survival mode first. Uh, and then they released the story, and the story has come out in parts over the years, right? This game has been out, I think, on the PC for like maybe over 10 years.
Too heavy to carry.
I want to say that's a long time. That's a long time. And so there's now 5 chapters to the story over this 10-year period, right? So it's taken some time. If it had just been a story mode game, let's say it was something like, what is that game called? Is it Life is Strange? The one where you're like the psychic, the psychic teenage lady who, I don't want to ruin that game while I'm talking about it. I think it's called Life is Strange. Anyway. But instead of doing that, they have this whole survival mode. And a lot of people, that's what they know this game for. That's what they play, right? And it sort of became a thing where at times it felt like the developers were a little antagonistic of their player base. This isn't really the game that we intended. Yes, there's a survival mode, but we were really just trying to make some money off that to get the story, right? The story is very similar to survival mode. It just has a story. But and there's a story in here now too, in survival mode. All right, let me put my bunnies back down. They're just, I don't want to be dealing with you guys soon. But I did think it was interesting, and when these guys start to freeze, now you can tell the difference between a frozen rabbit and a non-frozen rabbit. Maybe I left him outside. The one with the rabbit, the rib cage that was exposed. Either it changed back or I left it somewhere else. All right. But they made changes. They've done some things over the years where it's kind of crappy to the survival players, right? Even the way they have their difficulties set up are again, kind of antagonistic. I mean, it just doesn't make anything below Interloper is not that hard. Period. Even what would be so Interloper, I don't even consider the hard mode. I've said this a bunch of times. It's insane mode, right? So you go from like easy to a little harder than easy to maybe medium to insane mode. That's it. You have Pilgrim, Voyager, Stalker, and Interloper. So Interloper is the hardest setting, whether you're playing in the story mode or in survival mode. There's a lot of differences in Interloper than you would have in any of the ones below. A ton of synthetic gear you can't get. You can't find hatchets and knives. There's no guns. Um, and the loot table, just in general, is, I mean, decimated. You are going to barely find anything anywhere you go. But if you go the next level down, Stalker mode, it's basically what you're going to see right here. There's really no difference. And I want to point out that I'm showing you this right here, this pile of stuff, and that's not everything. I got some stuff in this chest over here we're going to go look at. Because I want to point out how ridiculous they've made Pilgrim mode. And really any mode below Interloper. Any difficulty below Interloper is a joke. I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, yeah, you got wolves and you've got, more wolves and bears and things. But, and you're, okay, my harvestables are slowly and this and that. But for the most part, the only real difficult mode or, difficulty on this game is Interloper. And I would posit that it's too difficult. It really should be what, there should be something after Stalker. First of all, they need to fix their loot levels. It's absolutely ridiculous. And with the gear they're giving you now, it's just, it's asinine. Okay? It is targeted and kind of not cool, for other players of the game. Okay? But this is, I'm in Forsaken Airfield. I've made multiple videos here, and I've pointed out just how terrible this place can be. Not just with the weather, which has been absolutely stunning the entire time I've been here. And I just want to say, I know it's on the easiest setting, right? And it's on custom, so I even made it a little easier. But it doesn't change the loot table. The loot table is what it is. Okay? So everything that you see before me has nothing to do with what I changed in the custom settings. This is stuff I would find anyway. Okay? Obviously, I'm not going to be thirsty or hungry for some time, right? And this is just what I have out here. We're going to go through this chest here in just a second. Okay? I've got fuel for days. Not only do I have fuel for days, but I have one on me, huh? And I left one out in the woods because I had too much carry weight. And again, this isn't everything, okay? This isn't, I don't pick up antiseptic in Pilgrim mode. You don't need it. There's been, antibiotic, well, I got the antibiotics. I don't know if I'm going to need those. But, pain pills and various things that I've just left laying around. Because it didn't really help me. But I did start, like, about a quarter through the run. I was like, let me keep everything and just show how ridiculous this is. So, we have the sport bow, 100%. And a survival bow at 77%. 3 100% arrows. Right? So, I'm deadly. I'm ready to go. This weighs 0.77 pounds. This weighs pound and a half, pound 10. Alright. So I've got, like, the best bow in the game. And 3 arrows. And if you know how to play this game, I mean, you're deadly. You're a player. From the get. Right here. That's all you need. All right. We have a hacksaw, which means I can break down metal. There's a forge here. I have a hammer, which means I can forge. So if I wanted to make any tools or arrowheads, I'm set. I left a hammer out in the world. That means I found 2 hammers here. I've had starts where I found 4 insulated flasks. Brand new to the game, right? Oh, I'm curious. I cooked this last night. Is it still warm? It's not in my food. Here we go. No, it finally went cold. Okay, so overnight it doesn't last, but it lasted for a good long time. But my point is, not only do I have an insulated flask, I have 3 insulated flasks and 3 of the variants, and I think there's only 4. I'm not 100% on that, but I think there's only 4. Anyway, so there's tools. All right. I have picked up 1 set of blue simple tools, and I found this in a locker, the quality tools, right? Now, these weigh less, and they make things, when you use them, it goes faster than these, right? But I've also found 3 other sets of simple tools. They just weigh 2.2 pounds, so I didn't bring them with me. Ridiculous. Not only that, here's the worst part. I'm trying to make a video on the new region with the new stuff. Now, here's 3 of the new stuffs right here. And then this as well. So I found a disposable filter for the respirator that's going to be important to me in the new area, the zone of contamination. I'm going to need some breathing apparatus. I'm going to need some special clothing, etc. It's right here. I've already got a canister of extra air, basically, ready to go. Footwear, we're doing fine. These can be early game some of the best boots that you can find. They're heavy, but they are really amazing. Found them right off the bat. We'll do clothing here in a minute. There's a little extra clothing that I just kind of tossed on the ground because I'm running out of space. But this is like, these are my starting shoes. I had the starting shoes were these. I had a red sweater, wool mittens, pair of jeans, a scarf, and a baseball cap. But let's dig in the drawers here. Let's go digging in some drawers. So let's look at the matches. Not only do I have, 2 books straight up of wooden matches, okay, but I have 3 books of cardboard, or sorry, I'm sorry, 4 because of this one, and one of them stacked 3 books. 60, 80, 100 plus matches from one region. The region I consider to be one of the hardest to start in, and a region that I think can be very stingy on the loot, depending on how, your playthrough, you start or whatever. But definitely isn't. It doesn't. You don't usually get this much even in Pilgrim mode. Is my point. So yeah, I'm just wondering, like, what is going on. And so, all right, not only again 1 fire striker, but 2. I got the Maglins. I've got more books than I know what to do with. We'll keep rolling here. These are the meds that I've kept. I don't know if I'm going to need antibiotics in the new region. And even in passive mode, you can get attacked by wolves. And since the new wolves are super aggressive, I want to have some bandages and whatnot on me. The clothing that I have on me. First of all, we have the best socks in the game. Now, I haven't repaired anything because I didn't want to uh, destroy any of the gear before I made this video. But I've got the Expedition Parka. Again, the best coat in the game as far as below Interloper. We've got the Flight Jacket, 2 pairs of jeans, the Mucklucks, the best boots in the game besides the ones you can make, uh, 2 thin wool sweaters, 2 pairs of red underwear. These are the best underwear that you can get in the game below Interloper. They're not available in Interloper, and that's kind of the point that I'm making today, right? And a couple of scarves. I'm wondering if I can sneak these in there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. More food, more sodas. I probably got at least 20 sodas. At least. Whoops. I've been playing another game. I got an arrow shaft, arrowhead, and a couple of feathers. I could probably make a 4th arrow. You start with a sewing kit in pilgrim mode. So I've picked up another, and just more flares than I know what to do with, honestly. That's drawer number 1. Let's go to drawer number 2. I've thrown mostly the clothing in here, and so there's the aviator's cap, the best hat in the game. So I just want to point out I have the best hat, 2 of the best jackets, the best boots. I haven't... Well, I also have the balaclava, which gives me the 2nd best hat in the game, right? And then I have the combat pants. Now, deerskin or ski pants are going to be better, but this is like, besides what you can make and besides the ski pants, this is easily the 2nd best pair of pants you can find in the game, right? I got plenty of leather and cloth, and not 1 but 2 windbreakers, which can be game-changing early on. But I don't even need it because I have the leather jacket, right? Top drawer, we got more to go. Snacks. How are we doing on snacks? I mean, I also want to point out that I have a bunch of like garbage food in my in my inventory because I'm just going to get rid of it. But most of this food is above 50%, and a lot of it is well above 50%. And if you are a soda drinker in this game, basically between 30% and up, you're probably going to be okay. I left a pile of potatoes somewhere. I've left, varying things I didn't feel like carrying, the stuff I don't normally pick up. But what I want to point out is that we are mid-morning, and I started at noon the day before. Now, I have the days increased thanks to LMG, a great YouTuber. You guys should check that YouTuber out. He's amazing. He does a lot of videos. His videos on my time at Sandrock are just, I love it. But he does a lot of other stuff, including The Long Dark. And I never thought of this when I do my videos on new stuff. I always start in pilgrim mode. In fact, I think maybe... Nah, he didn't steal it from me. But generally speaking, unlike a lot of other YouTubers, I like to go into the easiest mode to go explore new stuff. That gives everybody the opportunity to see the new stuff. But he was doing a custom pilgrim, which I thought was dope. I was like, oh, that guy's kind of doing what I do. But he increased the day. Now, he increased his days by 4 times, which means it was probably going to be sunny like for his entire video, which is fantastic, and I'm going to probably do that in some more demo videos. Yeah, there they are. Come here. There he is. See? Lots of changes, visually, and... Oh, actually, leave this there. No, I'll bring those inside. And on the audio as well, but... So, what's your point, Pizza? What are you trying to say, buddy? Well, I feel like the developers have aggressively, once again, kind of been a little angry with the people that buy their games. Uh, and the changes that they made are interesting. So, a lot of what the new stuff that you can get from the DLC, from the Tales that you pay for, right? I think it was an extra $20, which is fine because this game I got it for free. It was free forever. Eventually, I lost it. It wasn't free anymore, and I paid $20. So I'm $40 in at this point, right? I don't think I got it on sale, so I think I paid $20 for it. But there's such a disparity between Interloper and anything below it. And they've turned the loot table up to an insane level where I don't, I, my biggest advice in this game, and it's always been the same, is to play on Pilgrim mode. Play on Pilgrim mode. Everything you do is going to help you, towards your achievements. Um, you know, if you, sorry, I'm fixing my phone there. Spend some time on the maps. You'll figure out where wolves are, bears are, moose are. You'll figure out where the ptarmigan and the rabbits live. You'll figure out how to get around those maps and how to get out of those places to new regions, right? And that's a little hard to do with the wolves on your back constantly. The wolf mechanic in this game is atrocious. I'm done. I feel like I've been nice to the developers. I mean, what I say doesn't really matter, but I just feel like at this point I'm done. I love this game. It's absolutely stunning. I will tell anyone to play it. It is fabulous. Okay, but play it how you want to play it. And I think the developers sort of made a mistake by even giving us a survival mode and the ability to customize our playthrough. So, when you play on custom mode, it's just like in Minecraft or any of those games, like when you put it in cheat mode, you're not going to get the achievements. You're not going to get any time towards your badges. But at least you can play it in a way that makes more sense. So I feel like the developers really want you to play story mode, right? And if you're going to play survival mode, they want you to play Interloper. And I feel like that isn't cool, man. I feel like, it's like if you write a book, okay? And you make someone a villain. And the public receives them as an anti-hero. They're supposed to be hated. They're supposed to be the problem. But in the end, you wrote it so well that people really kind of love them, It doesn't matter what your intent was to begin with. It's the interpretation of your art. And when you put art out there, it is up for interpretation. Period. That's why it's art. And this is art. Okay? A video game is art. I know it's hard for some people to accept that and believe, but look at the painting that I'm standing in right now and the hundreds of hours that I've put into this game and broadcast. You'll know I kind of like this game, and you'll know that I think it's beautiful. And it is. And it's a great game. But appreciate your fans. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the people that play your game. Appreciate the people that support you. Essentially. I feel like of all, there's a lot of companies like Snail Games and, some of these other companies that are just, absolutely the people that put out Conan Exiles. There's a lot of people that are shady and do some crappy stuff, right? But I feel like they're motivated by money grubbing kind of, it's a business thinking, right? But at Hinterland, I feel like they're really antagonistic of their people. They're like, man, you didn't really get it. You were supposed to love the story and not the survival mode. Man, if you're going to play survival mode, everything's below it is garbage unless it's Interloper. And Interloper, we're not even going to give you a hard mode. We're going to make it insane mode. So you either play an insane mode for a challenge or you run around in diapers. And that's what was laying on the ground in there. Okay, it's a pile of diapers and wipes and formula for the babies that play the game. You know, and that's how they treat people. It's absolutely ridiculous. What I'm saying is, there's no challenge. If you want to play Pilgrim mode, there's no challenge. Look at this. Look at this. I've got food for days. I can shred that and get my cooking level probably up to 3 at least. I'm going to rip these clothes apart, sew everything I've got. I'm going to have an aviator's cap. I'm going to have an expedition coat. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be really set. Get those mucklucks fixed up. I'm super warm, windproof. I'll probably leave here with 34 plus degrees of warmth and 20 plus degrees of windproofing. I don't even need to mess with these rabbits. I can eat junk food for days. Make water. Why? This is the water I found from toilets and bottles just laying around. I got here with like 2 pounds and some change. I drank it down to about 110. So I'm about half a pound up. Not quite. That should be on the ground here. Otherwise, you know, I drank it. But I didn't really need to drink much because, you know, I'll just grab one of these guys right here and I'm good to go. And it's just weird. It's just really strange. Like any kind of survival playthrough below Interloper is going to be super easy. You're going to get... I've tested it in Stalker mode. I've tested it in Pilgrim mode now. And it doesn't matter. You're going to have the best gear in the game. Put 2 hours in, go to 1 or 2 regions, and you're going to have everything you need. You're going to have the best gear in the game. You're going to have a rifle. You're going to have a pistol. You're going to have expedition coats, you know, maybe snow pants. You're going to have good boots. You're going to have everything you need. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. And that's, like I said, Stalker, Voyager, or Pilgrim mode. Don't even worry about it. There's nothing to it. Don't. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. You might get a little cold, a little hungry at the beginning, but other than that, don't even worry about it. Just wander around a little bit. You'll be okay. And that's not how this game used to be. All right. This game was challenging, even in Pilgrim mode. I've had some really rough playthroughs, in fact, in Pilgrim mode, where the RNG wasn't kind, you know, and I needed to get those skin clothing, and I needed deerskin pants, and I needed a wolf coat, and you know, whatever. But really, it only seems like that's going to be an Interloper thing from here on out, and I don't think Interloper is a good. I don't like it. I straight up real Interloper, other than the loot table, which I do enjoy the challenge of. But a lot of it is so unrealistic and so unimmersive. It's just punishment. So again, it's like they hate the survival players of their own game. Even though they're releasing DLC for it, even though they've made a ton of money off of it, even though I would say 1,000% confidently that it is the main driving force of people that buy this game. Most people don't buy this game for the story mode. Most people who buy this game do not play the chapters only, and they're like, survival? No, why would I do that? They exist. I'm just saying in very small numbers. I 100% confident in that. So, with your main base being the survival player, your main base pumping the cash into your company so you can keep making these stories, so you can get to the point where you can not only charge for the game, but charge for DLC. What are you doing? Why are you such asses about it? Hinterland, please respond. I really don't understand. Like, it's like, we don't like survival players. We're only going to make one mode that is truly challenging, and we're going to make it so challenging that it's dumb. The developers of the game want you to die, right? Not you, but your character. The whole point is you're not supposed to survive the long dark. You're supposed to go to the long dark. But it's like anything. People have survived 500 days. That's what I'm doing in my challenge. People have survived 1,000 days. There are people with over 10,000 days in this game. It's not the player's fault. If you learn to kite an enemy somewhere, if you learn to glitch through a wall, if you learn, congratulations, player, you've become a gamer, right? But don't punish people for that. And nobody's even doing that in this. They're just playing the game that you put out. So I'm a little stunned, as usual, with the developers of this game. Again, I broadcast it all the time. I'm going to keep playing it. I'll play it till the day I probably die. I love this game, okay? But what a weird tilt is all I can say. It's not the first time it's happened. I'm not the first person to talk about it. And I even know there are people that are actual YouTubers who have done this and said something, and Hinterland has gone after them. Like, literally, send them emails and stuff. It's weird. All I'm saying is, appreciate your base. Turn down the loot. Turn down the loot. Quit it. You're being obnoxious. Stalker mode is way too easy on the loot table. Voyager is way too easy on the loot table. And Pilgrim mode is way too easy on the loot table. Stop it. Let people who don't want to play insane mode, okay, play your game. They're valid people. They gave you their $20 to $40. So, buck up, kid, and give them what they asked for. Take care of your customer. Stop being a dick. I don't cuss much in my videos. I try not to, but you know what? If you're a dick, you're a dick. And Hinterland, you're being kind of a dick. So, love your game. Play it all the time. Hope to get it monetized one day. But let me tell you something. It doesn't mean that you can just do whatever you want, and people just need to deal with it. Okay? So, anyway, I'm going to continue to prep for my next video, which is going to be a video on the zone of contamination, the new area. And I'll go into some of that, of what I've just talked about in that video. I'll try to make it a little more positive, I suppose. But I just wanted to make a video how it seems like they really want you to either just play the story mode, which is honestly, buy the game, play the story mode, and then don't ever play it again. How about that? Don't get any DLC for it. Don't spend the extra $20 for the extra survival stuff. Don't do it. Only play an Interloper, and if you can't play an Interloper, you shouldn't play this game. You're not good enough. That's kind of the attitude I think is coming from them. So a little strange. Anyway, as always, hey, if you catch this, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you see this at a later date or time, thanks for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day, and y'all be good to each other.